All right, here's the deal. I know some of you out there have been waiting weeks for this episode, so I don't want to keep you any longer. Let's dive right in. Rain poured in sheets over downtown Atlanta as Maya Thompson sprinted the final block toward the glass tower that housed Callister & Rowe, one of the most prestigious financial firms in the city. Whispers started immediately. A receptionist tried to hide her smirk, but Maya straightened her back, looked at the security guard, and said firmly, "I'm here for the 2:30 interview with Mr. Grayson." 2. The silence. The receptionist hesitated. "Ma'am, are you sure? For Callister & Rowe?" "I am." Another woman in a pencil skirt laughed under her breath. Maya ignored it. She waited 10 long minutes before a young assistant finally arrived and led her upstairs to the top floor. When the elevator opened, she stepped into a world of suits, silence, and suspicion. 3 men in tailored jackets looked her up and down like she didn't belong. The assistant whispered nervously, "The CEO will be with you shortly." When he didn't appear after a few minutes, Maya realized they were likely hoping she would leave. But she couldn't. She had a start date stamped on her calendar, and this job meant everything. Taking a deep breath, she walked into the vast boardroom, stopping short at the sight of a table stretching almost the length of the room. She found herself standing at the head of it, drenched, trembling, humiliated. But she refused to sit. If she sat, she wasn't sure she'd have the strength to get back up. 3. The CEO. The glass doors opened. In walked Edward Grayson, the legendary CEO. Late 50s, silver hair, no-nonsense face, known for being ruthless in business. He froze when he saw Maya. The room tensed, but then something happened. He smiled. He walked over, extended his hand, and said, "Ms. Thompson, I'm honored you made it." Maya hesitated, confused. "Sir, I'm sorry for my appearance. There was a situation." Grayson raised a hand. "No need. Please, have a seat. You earned it." 4. The conversation. She sat, still unsure. He poured her a glass of water himself. "I've read your resume," he said. "Impressive. 3.9 GPA, first in your family to graduate college, internship with 2 nonprofits, and you walked 5 miles through a storm to get here. That tells me more than a pressed suit ever could." The other men at the table shifted uncomfortably. One whispered, "She's not exactly dressed for the role." Grayson looked at him coldly. "She's dressed like someone who doesn't make excuses, and that's exactly who we need." He turned back to Maya. "You're hired, if you'll have us." 5. The aftermath. Maya blinked, unsure if she'd heard right. "But the interview—" "This was it," Grayson said. "You already passed." Before she could even respond, a wide grin split her face. Over the next hour, they discussed logistics: start date, office space, preferred software. Then Grayson stopped. "Tell me, Ms. Thompson, why do you want to work here?" Maya thought about the long days, the pressure, the drive to excel. "Because this is where I want to learn from the best. Because I won't settle for average. And because—" She met Grayson's gaze directly. "I believe everyone deserves a chance based on merit, not what they're wearing." The room was silent, heavy. Then Grayson nodded slowly. "Welcome to Callister & Rowe." 6 months later, everything was different. Beautiful, challenging, demanding, fulfilling. More than she'd ever imagined. It was worth every late night, every tough decision, every sacrifice. On the long, lonely drives home, she'd replay the day, searching for how she'd measure up. Did she make the right choice? Was she good enough? Every doubt, every worry, every fear from that fateful interview resurfaced. Each time she neared the door to her apartment, the hallway beckoned like a dark tunnel. Inside, the quiet amplified, pressing against her chest, squeezing the breath from her lungs. She'd walk to the kitchen, stare out the window at the city lights, and whisper, "Am I cut out for this?" A year later, her reflection stared back, haggard, hollow-eyed, haunted by the specter of self-doubt. But beneath the weariness, something else burned. Ambition, resilience, a fierce determination to prove herself. The doubts were still there, but now there was something else, too. Confidence. 2 years later, Maya stood in front of a new intern class, now a team leader in charge of onboarding. Her photo hung in the hallway, muddy pants and all, under the words, "We don't hire suits, we hire grit." She often walked past it on her way to meetings, remembering the fear, the rain, and the moment she thought she'd be turned away. But instead, she was seen. And now she made sure others would be, too. Closing narration-style line. She walked in with mud on her shoes and walked out leaving footprints that changed the company forever. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please don't forget to share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe to see more stories like this. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.